What you are doing is not good. This was a shocking statement that Jethro, the father-in-law of Moses, got across to Moses. I'm sure just like a lot of us, Moses will have been very surprised. How come would my father-in-law make this kind of pass to me? That what I'm doing is not good. Okay, so what exactly was it doing that was not good? That is the subject of our discussion today on Leaders Arise. My name is Demola Awoyele, and I want to say thank you for joining me today on Leaders Arise. This is that platform where we get to learn leadership in such a way that we can apply the principles to our lives and to our endeavors, and of course, achieve better results and of course, be more productive than we have been. So today, I want to further on our discussion on delegation. I've been on this for a while now, but I still want us to look at some further truths as far as the subject of delegation is concerned, because we began by saying that the ultimate of leadership is not just to do things for people or do things with people, but to do things through people. A great leader is one that can do things through people. That means he can delegate to the right people, and of course, he can get the best of results. So when you see Exodus chapter 18, for example, Moses has been doing things for people. He was the one handling all their counselings. He was the one, settling disputes. He was the one praying for them. He did practically everything for the Israelites. And remember, they were close to about 3 million people. So on the average, Moses will be attending to, if I'm not exaggerating, some couple of thousands of people, let's say hundreds of people per day. You can imagine how tasky that would be. So Moses will wake up in the morning, maybe after spending time with God in prayer, he will resume at his office and start judging the people from morning till night. Maybe he hardly had time to eat or rest. And like most leaders who always feel, he felt high, he felt important. And let me please say today that if your sense of importance is determined by who is following you or who is queuing before you, then you really do not understand what leadership is. A leader does not derive his sense of importance or security from the people that he's seeing, but from the principle that he's working. It is the principle that you are working that tells us whether you know what you are doing. So Moses will judge the people from morning till night. And of course, like I said, he will probably feel important. And that's a major point in leadership, because some people, they feel that if nobody is coming to me, that I'm no more a leader. I've always told people that one of the jobs of a leader is to lead in such a way that it will not be needed again. Think about it. I know that is a paradigm shifting point as far as this leadership we practice on this side of the world is concerned. We want to always be available. We want to always be there. It's good to be there, but being there should provide the opportunity to raise people to the point that even when you are not there, people can be there. People can stand on their own. So Jethro would tell Moses that, okay, what you are doing is not good. You will sit down from morning till evening judging people. That does not show how important you are. All right. So remember, Moses started his leadership by spending time with God, not much with people. But when the people now, and that's the problem in leadership, because we all started out trying to be our best. We all don't start out with people, but as your leadership begins to grow, you have more people to attend to, you have more clients to attend to, you have more members to attend to. If you're a pastor, if you are a married person, married woman, you have more children to attend to. So being able to balance, being able to balance your schedule so that you will not spend all your time, attending to people is one of the skills that every leader must have. So in that token, I'm saying that learning how to delegate will save you the stress and the let me still call it the stress of having to always be there. Yeah, I know we like that one. We always want to be there. When it's only God that will always be there. A leader must lead in such a way that you are confident to be able to say that even if I'm not there, the work will still continue. One of the ways in which I judge or I assess my leadership as a pastor of a local church is what happens when I'm not in church, or what happens when I'm not yet in church. There are times that we had programs in church or services will have started, and just a couple of days ago, one of my friends still came visiting in church. I had gone to school to pick my children. I've gone to pick my children and my wife. All right, the church has started. Before I left the church office to go and do that, by the time he came in, he didn't meet me, but the service was on. That's the kind of church I want to run, that when I'm not there, they say, there are some churches that when the pastor is not, of course, not too many churches, but there are a few churches like that. And when the pastor is not on ground, things can't work. He has to be there for anything to start. No, in our church, I don't have to be there for anything to start. People have been trained and are being trained to the point where they can run things with or without my presence or my direct involvement. I use the word direct because I'm always involved, but I've learned the art of delegation. That's what I've been talking about for some couple of episodes now. How do you lead in such a way that you don't have to do everything for people? You don't have to do everything for people, that you have to sit back and watch others do stuff. But let me speak to the subject of being a secure leader, like I said, because I perceive that one of the problems that some leaders have, maybe Moses also had the same problem, is insecurity. They derive their sense of importance from how much they do for people, not by how much people can do for themselves. Think about it. We always want to feel proud that we are doing stuff for people. Okay, some of us, when our children just at school, you have to do their own work for them. You continue by doing their own work with them. Then the point comes that you only need to tell them, go and do your own work, and they will do it by themselves. Look at that growth now. When they just started, you have to do it for them. You have to read the lines into their ears. Even exams in school, they do it for them, just with their participation. But the point comes that, okay, you guide them, they're doing it with you or doing it. But a point comes, at this point, once in a while, I check what my children does, but my children do, but most times, I just instruct them, go and do your own work. And guess what? Most times, they will do it without my direct supervision. Sometimes when they encounter an issue or a problem they can't solve, they will come to me and say, Daddy, what is this on? I don't understand it, so I put them through. That is what leadership should be about. It's not about doing things for people. It's about doing things through people, that people can be able to stand. I gave you a quote, that other episode, that D.L. Moody said, I would rather put 10 men to work than do the work of 10 men. All right? Doing the work of 10 men make you look like a Superman, but leadership is not about being a Superman. It's about understanding the strategies to putting other people to work. No matter how macho or how super you think you are, you can't really do the work of 10 men. Either of three things will happen. You become fagged out. Number two, you waste time. Number three, you are not able to do a quality job, because there's no way you can do the work of 10 men. You become fagged out, tired out. Number two, you waste time. If I have to do the work of 10 men, I will spend possibly up to times 10 of the time that could have been spent if 10 men were put to work. Then, of course, I can't be too sure of how perfect and quality the work will be. So D.L. Moody said, I would rather do the work, I would rather put 10 men to work than do the work of 10 men. Dr. David Oyedepo once said, just because you are the foreman does not mean you should do the work of 4 men. A foreman is the man at the front, a man that is at the helm of affairs. That does not mean that you should do the work of 4 men. So leaders must cure themselves of insecurity. You must derive your importance from your purpose, not from the people around. You must derive your importance from the principles you are working. Not so if you need people to be a leader, you are really not a leader. Leadership does not begin with people, and it won't end with people. Leadership begins with you, knowing your calling, knowing your purpose, knowing the principles that you're working with. And of course, when you don't have people directly with you or directly that you are serving directly, it does not make you not to be a leader. So at the next episode, I'll be discussing what we learned from Moses' leadership, the paradigm shift that took place when Jethro stepped into his life. Remember, this Moses eventually lived very long, 120 years. His eyes was not dim. His natural force was not abated, the Bible will tell us. That means that counsel of Jethro greatly worked for him. So the next episode will unpack the content of the counsel of Jethro, and now you can apply the same to your own peculiar life and leadership situation. My name is Demola Awoyele, and this is Leaders Arise. Thank you for being a part of this broadcast. I need you to send in your questions, your comments, your feedback, and of course, share this video across all your platforms. Let's hang out again at the next episode. Bye for now.